Today? Well, we came to Blue Dog Ranch to get some foundational training for Moose. She's never been trained, and she's picked up some habits this year. She has like a little nervous licking that she does, and does a little barking on walks when she's with her sister dog, Rhonda, and yeah, just learn how to communicate together so she feels better.
Sit. See how I'm rewarding Moose? Good. Straight down. She's looking up at me. I'm actually getting eye contact as I reward her. I'll do it again. Hey, tap her on the little head. She's looking at me as I reward her. Good. Notice I only said the command once. We've only ever said it once. And if for some reason she didn't go there, I would not have repeated it. I would have gently but firmly reinforced that sit or that command, no. She's great about, okay, sniffing whatever little thing she sees on the ground. I didn't want her to eat that little rock. So I said no. I'm going to gently but firmly put her back. If she had ignored my initial command of sit, I would have just pulled up with a little bit of pressure, just like this. You're not choking, you're not hanging, you're not jerking or popping, and then just a little bit of pressure, and then your left hand comes down and just eases her down. You won't have to do that very much. Just in the beginning when she's getting used to being handled this way by you because you've handled her differently. So very quickly, if you're just consistent in doing it this way, she'll start doing for you as she does for me now. But she already knows how to do it. This is really about you learning my moves. Of course, there is no stay, because why say stay when we just teach them sit means to stay there till we're done and we come back and release you. If she were to pop up like she did when I kicked that little rock out of the way, you just say no, gently but firmly reset her. And I walked around both ways just to do a basic sit stay. Walking back next to her, more eye contact. Good. She gets a reward because that was really good. We're out in public and there's people behind us and around us, and she's paying attention to what she's supposed to be doing, focusing. So she got a reward when I came back next to her, and I'm going to pat her chest with my right hand and say, go. And that's the way you practice sit and a sit stay wherever you are. I'm just doing this out in public so that you can see that her skills are solid in a real life situation. Okay. Look at what we're going to do here. Down. So we're doing a little down here, and I didn't know if she could actually do this here because there's so much going on. So rather than waiting for her to not respond the moment I said down, I just did this with my foot. But I barely had to put any pressure on the leash because she was going to do it anyway. But that's what you're going to do if you ever have an issue with her. Good. An issue with her ignoring your commands. You don't want to get stuck in that pattern where you say sit or down and then you do that. So if for some reason she seems to not be good, not be focused in doing it right away, you want to put the action and the word together. So if it was sit, it's going to be sit. So you reinforce the command as you say it. If it's down, it's down. And then pretty soon, you'll, please, it's fine, you can walk past. Nope.
Is that your dog?
Yes, we're doing a video right now.
Doing a dog training thing?
Yeah. So, see.
What aisle is he in? Do you get those at? What aisle?
It's very funny.
Aisle 3? Thanks.
Yes, you can check over there.
Yeah.
Good. Hopefully aisle 3 is on the other side of the store. So, you see, this is really difficult. When we started this, there was nothing going on, but this is what happens when you're in a real life situation. You think nothing's going on, and then everybody just shows up. But it's great to show you the level of focus she has now. Of course, it's not the first time we've been here, so we've been practicing having her do sit stays and down stays in all different spots in this store. I just picked this one place because it's the busiest here at the store. And you see I'm periodically, good, rewarding her because she stays down with all these distractions going past. This is really great. You can pass by. Oh, you can pass by, it doesn't matter. And I'm even practicing these little walk around downstays. This is really tough when you squeeze past the dog, you know, in between something when there's not enough room, and she's still staying down, and that deserves a big reward. Good. And as before, if there's a reset, you reset, and of course you're gonna say no, and then just like that, if she did pop up, and when you're, and make sure you finish it on a success, and then when you're finished, she's waiting for you to come back next to her, pat your leg and say, okay, and then sit, because we always release from a calm sit stay, because if we release from a down, she can easily pop up and run around, and we want her to keep a lot of that calmness that she's developed, you know, in this little downstay exercise every time we do it. So with my right hand, go, and you'll see that she's a lot calmer when you release her from a calm sit stay. Don't even ever try to release her straight out of a down, because you're going to start losing a little bit of that calmness every time you do it, because the dogs tend to be, they're anticipatory and they're waiting, and then you release them and they're kind of hyper, and she could easily be that way because that's her natural tendency to be a little bit hyperactive, which is of course the way she came to us. But you can see the calming effects of practicing the down stays and the sit stays in the specific way that we do it. And it's all about how it ends. So it's all about how you do it, how you deliver the reward, just like we showed you, same as on the mat. That's okay. And how you end the exercise. They remember how it ends. It's okay. I think we're gonna move because this is becoming a hassle here. So we're done anyway. Okay, let's go. We just finished our little sit stay and a little down stay, and now we're just hanging out. We're walking around the store, and I'm going to practice calling her back to me. Come. Good. So when you're practicing your recall, which is come, when you're practicing, come, always wait till she's looking away from you. Good. If for some reason she didn't respond to hearing that command, you just do a slightest little tap, and she'll turn around, she'll see you backing away. Good, and she'll be drawn to you. Also, I always hold the reward in this target hand, so in an emergency, she's gonna come running to that because she doesn't know it's empty, so we're gradually, with all the training, of course, phasing out the food as we go along, so that pretty soon she's going to do everything no matter what without the food. But maybe once a day for each little command, you just give her one piece. But in an emergency, it's going to work, especially for the recall, because she'll come to this target even now. So watch, I'm waiting for her to look at somebody. Come. Good. Everything is simultaneous. She gets the reward, you pet her, and you say good all at once, so that when there's nothing in your hand and you need it, come. Good girl. Maybe just love her up a little bit more. She doesn't even know the difference, obviously. We've done it so many times now that she's just triggered to do it that way, because something good always happens when she comes to us, of course. And that's why she's got it at such a deep level where there's no thinking involved. She just has to do it. And that's the kind of recall that could save her life someday, because she's going to be running somewhere, doing something that's not good for her, and it's like a reflex. And then that's the only kind of recall that works. Come. Calling her away from workmen. Good practice. Good girl. Make sure you always back away. Make sure you always make a target, and never drag her back to you. It's just, if you ever had this problem with which I don't, let me move closer and get kind of far away. It's just a prompt, pop and release, target, back away. Good girl, she'll always be drawn to you. And the key is to do that for a while. With me, I can stand still and she'll come to me. I don't have to back away. So once again, go get that. Come. Good girl. I don't have to back away anymore, because I've always practiced backing away, which has triggered her to always rush to me. So now, in an emergency, when my back is to the wall or at a curb or something, I can't back away, she rushes to me because of the way I practice. So always practice that way, and then you'll have it in a real life situation no matter where you are or what's going on. All right, okay. Sit, doing a little greeting routine with Moose, with a new person. And behind the camera person, no. Behind the camera person, we have dogs in the yard. It's actually at a glass wall where she can see them, and they were just barking a lot. But why don't you pan around and show them? One of them's still running around like that. Okay, they probably will start barking again while we're here. But I had her sit, I stepped away from her, I gave the person a little treat to offer to her, and she's sitting. If she pops up, see, she's distracted by this, but it's okay. This is really good practice for her to do this. Nope, it's in a safe environment because they can't get to us, but still it's very distracting for her. So it's good to reinforce this for her, to do this in the presence of a big distraction over there. So I stepped away, stepped back. Now I allow her, go say hi. She goes over, she gets a treat, and whether she wants it or not, she could get petted as well. Come, next time. I call her back to come, good. Okay, I think she's a little bit scared by all that, but okay, come on sweetie, we'll make this quick. So this is gonna be, okay, come on. This is going to be different in your yard, but it's the same. I mean, she's going to be, okay, she's going to be more excited in your yard, but this is exactly the way you're going to do it. Now she's a little bit subdued because she's probably stressed out by them. And I'm just going to do it 3 times, more treat. So staying in a sit stay, staying calm like this while meeting somebody is really important if you don't want her to be, go, hyper anymore and don't want her to be jumping on people. This will really help stop that. Come. Good. We do this every day with different people, so she's really familiar with this pattern. She knows she always meets people in this way in a very calm manner. And come on, this way, silly. Sit. One last time. And it's just a great little exercise in calmness. So you got to sit, stay there, you step away, you walk over to the person, give them a treat, she waits till you come back, and then go say hi. She gets the treat and gets petted. Very good. Come. She's not trying to jump on her, but people that she does know, or that she's, okay, excited to see, she will try to jump, and you just call her away. And every time that you do this, over time, she gets calmer and calmer when people come over. It's just a great exercise. It teaches her more respect for people and not, teaches her not to jump on people and just be, out of control when she meets people. If you keep doing this, you'll see that it really, when you can't do it, you'll see her be less excited and less obnoxious. And even if you don't have her on a leash, somebody shows up unexpectedly, you can always call her to come to you, and she'll come away from them. You can scoop her up, and she can not bother your unexpected guests. Sit. We always have Moose sit right before we come in like this. I always practice this little doorway exercise, especially at the front door. Okay, notice that she waited till I came back next to her. Notice that she's not pulling me through. The most I might have to do if she's super excited, she's kind of excited now actually, probably because of the camera person, but the most I'd have to do is just little taps on the leash. She's so small, she's so sensitive. This is really, about doing less, being relaxed. Okay. Sit. So I turned to my left to get her pointed in the right direction of the mat. I didn't drag her to my right. I did a circle and set her so she was facing where I want to send her. She's sitting with my right hand. She pops up, you're gonna say no. Do your little circle, reset her. My right hand, I'm gonna pat her chest and say, go to your mat. And then I'm gonna say down as I lead her to the mat. I want her a little bit closer to the front, so I'm just luring her. Good, somewhere in the middle of the mat there like that. And we start a little exercise where she stays on her mat no matter what I do. We start off just practicing a basic little down stay where she accepts me walking around both ways around her. And of course she gets a reward every time she does this successfully. Good. So make sure you put the reward on the mat. She waits until you withdraw and she takes it off the mat. If she tries to grab it out of your hand or touches your hand or paws you or does anything like that, you pull it back and say no. Because this is an exercise of focus. And so she has to be focused, non-reactive. No. Good. So you may not have even been able to see that clearly, but she tried to touch my hand, so I pulled back. I said no. And she waited. I deposited the reward on the mat. If she gets up, you say no. Put her back like that. I just kind of stepped on the leash a little bit. But I deposited it on the mat, withdrew, and she took it off the mat. That's the way you want her to accept that reward. So we'll just do this one more time. Depending on what kind of day she's having, she either calms down really quickly or it takes a few minutes. But of course, as we do this every day, she kind of gets into the zone a lot quicker every time. Down. And once she's successful at doing one thing, I can do some other things. I go and sit down. Good. That's very often an invitation for the dog to come over to you, pop up and come over to you, but she didn't, so I came back and rewarded her. If she had popped up, I would have said no. I would have reset her, put her back, and done it again until she had a success, and then rewarded her and moved on. Now I'm going to go back here, close the door behind me, and knock on the door. Before I go there, I'm going to remind her, down. Here. Door. Very good. Come back in front of her and reward her. Good. If you're ever going to ask her to do something that's difficult for her to handle, it's okay to remind her, down. It's a lot better than constantly saying stay, stay, stay all the time. So we're only going to do that occasionally when we're doing something that is really hard for her to handle. Just like this would be hard for her. Down. Knock on the door. Very good. And the phone started to ring right away. Good. Try something else. Down. This is very hard for any dog to do. Hanging on the windows. Make noise with the male flap. Ring the doorbell. Very good. Good. That's great to show off this really solid downstay on this mat, of course, but we're really after the byproduct of being able to focus at this level and not be distracted, not be triggered to jump up and come to the door or whatever she would have done before, because we really just want her to be calm like this 24/7. And obviously, you can't be training her like this, and you don't want to have to be doing this all day long, watching her if you're having guests over or you're out in public and she's extra excited. So we want to do this training in a way that changes her gradually every time we do it, makes her a little bit calmer, less reactive, and so that we don't have to worry about anything over time because she just doesn't get excited like she used to. And she is that kind of dog, so she always will at some level, but we're just trying to stabilize her and make her a lot calmer than before and a lot less reactive so that she's not, at least she's not being obnoxious and she doesn't have a bunch of nervous habits like she did before, because now she's way calmer because of these little exercises we're doing with her. And it's really, that's the byproduct of doing it this way. Okay. Sit. And if we were going to release her to be free, no. Stay right there. If we were going to release her to be free, we just pat her chest and say go. But in this case, we're going to take her back outside directly from this little mat exercise. By the way, we do this little exercise every day for just like 5 minutes a day. That's all you have to do at home. It's just 5 minutes a day. Just make sure you do it the way that we've shown you here. So I stepped out, I stepped back. Okay. She walks out with me without pulling. I have her sit on the outside and out in the yard and undo the leash and go. Let her have some free time.